Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're jumping into a real American classic, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
That's right.
We're looking at it through the lens of a recent book review, really trying to understand why this novel, from 1960, still hits so hard.
It really does.
It's got that mix, doesn't it? Childhood innocence set against some really tough stuff, prejudice, injustice in the Deep South back in the 30s.
Yeah.
So our mission today is basically to unpack that lasting power. Why this story?
Well, I think one of the key things, and the review touched on this too, is how it pulls you in right away through Scout Finch,
Right.
a child's perspective.
Right, Scout.
And it's not just a gimmick. Lee uses Scout's sort of naive but really sharp viewpoint to cut through all the adult justifications and polite evasions.
So you're not just told about things, you kind of feel them.
Exactly. You feel the confusion. You experience the sheer illogic of prejudice through a kid who's trying to make sense of what she sees versus what people say.
That makes sense. And Scout, she's this feisty little girl in Macomb, Alabama, this fictional town. She's curious, maybe a bit blunt.
Definitely observant.
Yeah, super observant. And it's through her and her brother Jem that we meet their father, Atticus Finch. He's a lawyer, principled guy, a widower, and he takes on this incredibly difficult case defending Tom Robinson.
A black man falsely accused.
Falsely accused of raping a white woman. And that really throws us right into the novel's core themes, like moral courage.
Yeah, absolutely does. And, through Scout's growing awareness, you see the trial, you see the community's ugliness, the bigotry that's just there.
Pervasive.
Pervasive, exactly. And Atticus, he stands out. Not in a flashy way, though.
No, not at all.
It's this quiet strength, isn't it? This determination to do the right thing, even when everyone's against him, even when failures seem, almost certain.
He's fighting for Tom, but also for something bigger.
For the idea of justice itself. He teaches his kids and us, really, that courage isn't about, muscles or guns. It's about starting something, even when you know you're likely licked before you begin, but you start anyway.
But it's not all grim, is it? Lee weaves in these moments of real childhood warmth and fun. How does that work with the serious themes? Does it dilute them?
Oh, not at all. I think it actually sharpens the impact. You have Scout and Jem and their friend Dill, their summer adventures, their whole obsession with Boo Radley.
The mysterious neighbor, yeah.
Right. These moments aren't just filler. They highlight the innocence that's being threatened, that's vulnerable to the adult world's prejudice.
So the contrast makes the dark parts darker.
Precisely. Because you care about these kids. You're invested in their world.
Yeah.
And then you see how injustice creeps in and affects everything. It makes you confront how insidious prejudice can be.
And the characters themselves feel so real. Atticus, often held up as this ideal father figure, empathy, integrity.
Quiet strength.
And Scout, so relatable, a tomboy questioning everything. Even Boo Radley, who we hardly see.
Becomes this huge symbol, doesn't he?
Yeah, of misunderstood goodness, maybe.
Right.
And how fear and rumor can just distort everything in a small town.
And Lee's writing style facilitates all of this. It seems simple on the surface, but it's so evocative.
He captures the place, the voices.
The whole atmosphere. It feels incredibly immediate, which is why I think it transcends its original setting.
Yeah.
She shows you, she doesn't just tell you.
Okay, so bringing it to today. 60-plus years later, why does Mockingbird still matter so much?
Well, the themes unfortunately remain relevant.
Racial prejudice, definitely. Moral courage, empathy. These aren't exactly solved issues, are they?
Sadly, no. So the book keeps challenging us, each new generation. It asks you to think. What does standing up for justice look like now? How do we deal with the biases that are still embedded in our systems and maybe ourselves?
It's a challenge.
It is. And the novel is heartbreaking in parts, no doubt about it. But there's also hope woven through it.
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
It suggests that compassion, understanding, they can win out over cruelty and ignorance. It's why it's still read, still debated, still powerful. It holds up a mirror.
So as we wrap up, maybe something for you, the listener, to think about, reflecting on Scout's journey, on Atticus's quiet resolve in defending Tom Robinson. How do these stories, these depictions of moral courage, continue to shape how we understand justice today? What's our role when we face injustice?
A powerful question to leave with.